Hello! In this screencast, I will be walking you through the EdPuzzle formative assessment concerning copyright, fair use, Creative Commons, and public domain licensing, which was developed for Module 5 of my online course, Practical Experience with Interactive Media, that is part of my coursework for ED2 672 Teaching and Learning Online at Marian University. If learners in this course intend to use the work of others in their final interactive media lesson, it is imperative that they understand the 4 different types of standards when it comes to copyright. This assessment is designed to check their knowledge regarding these different models of intellectual property protection. The video Copyright, Copyleft, and Everything in Between that forms the basis of this assessment was produced by myself and Andrew Brault during EDT 658 as a guide to copyright, fair use, Creative Commons, and public domain. I had initially included it as a viewing assignment in Module 5 of my online course. Recently, I read an article entitled Investigating the Impact of Feedback Instruction, Partnering Pre-Service Teachers with Middle School Students to Provide Digital, Scaffolded Feedback, which stated, formative assessment is concerned with the quality of student responses and how they can be used to improve student understanding. With this in mind, I decided to make the video interactive by adding questions to it via EdPuzzle. The article Technology to Support Next-Generation Classroom Formative Assessment for Learning suggests that simulation-based assessments that record student responses provide immediate individualized feedback, offer customized coaching, and produce progress reports on each assessment target, which can be useful in online instruction. While not a simulation in the strictest sense of the word, the EdPuzzle of this video, in addition to meeting other aforementioned criteria, also models the use of quality interactive media for learners. By expanding on the video through EdPuzzle, I am able to ensure learners are actually watching the assigned video and gain immediate feedback, which will allow me to assess student comprehension of the various forms of copyright protection covered in the video. The questions in the assessment check for comprehension as well as application of knowledge. While many of the questions are true, false, or multiple choice, others require learners gain practical experience with available resources by searching for particular types of files and licenses. Should there be any confusion, I will be able to address any issues appropriately and in a timely fashion. By the completion of this assessment, learners should feel confident in their ability to find media to include in their final product without concern of infringing on copyright. I was initially excited to see that Edmodo included application integration for many of the interactive media tools I cover in the online course. While convenient to have the apps readily available for learners through the app launcher, they do not appear to be much more than shortcuts to the website. I am hoping as Edmodo transitions from online store to Edmodo Spotlight on June 30th, there will be some options for easier integration. That being said, one of my favorite features of Edmodo thus far has been the ability to embed attachments to posts. EdPuzzle does provide embed code. It will be very easy to attach the EdPuzzle video to an assignment for learners to view without needing to leave the Edmodo platform. So let's take a quick look at how all of this works, shall we? As you can see here, on YouTube is the video Copyright, Copyleft, and Everything in Between that Andrew and I recorded on February the 4th, 2016. In order to use this in EdPuzzle, I had to import it into my content. So I had to actually import this video. Once I had imported it, I could click on the edit button, and it gave me some options to add information to this YouTube video as an EdPuzzle. First of all, it gave me the ability to crop. As you can see, this is a rather long video. It's 41 minutes and 51 seconds. It covers a lot of material. It's practically a breakout session in and of itself. So I don't really want to crop it, but if I wanted to, I certainly could. Additionally, I can create an entirely new audio track. Now, I'm not going to click on that because I've had some issues in the screencast with it starting to play the audio, and I don't want that to be distracting. So I'll just tell you what it does. Let's say that you had a chemical compound experiment that you were doing in a chemistry lab, and there was a lot of clinking of glasses and a lot of background noise and kids talking. Well, you might want to get rid of all of that and create an entirely new audio track. You can do that with this feature. The one caveat is you have to record an entirely new audio track. You have to re-record the entire bit of audio. You can't just create little segments of it. I believe that's what audio notes is for, which allows you to insert an introductory comment, a conclusion, or a remark, whatever it may be. So at the very beginning of this video, as you can see, I've added this little yellow tab, and I clicked on the record message here, and I added an introduction to the video itself for the students in the interactive media course.
The following broadcast was recorded live via Google On-Air Hangouts, hosted by myself, James Gubbins, and fellow educator Andy Brault. Throughout the presentation, you will be asked questions. Please do your best to respond to each. If you are asked to visit a resource, please click the link to do so. I hope you enjoy the presentation.
Hello, and welcome to Copyright, Copyleft, and everything in between.
I'm going to go ahead and pause that there. So as you can see, I was able to give an introduction to the online learners to this EdPuzzle to give them an idea of what was about to happen. And then the video itself started. Now, we also have some green tabs there, and these are quizzes. These allow you to insert formative assessment anytime during the video and check your students' understanding, which is what this is all about, is creating that formative assessment. So I can drag this little green tab anywhere, click on the question, and it will give me the option to create an open-ended question, a multiple choice question where I can choose the correct answer, so it's easy to grade, and I can also add a comment section right here, and I'll show you some examples of that now. I'm not going to add a new one at this time since I've already created all the questions. As you can see here, I have a true-false question. Educators can use copyrighted work without limitation, without permission. True or false. I can go ahead and click on false, which is the correct answer, and I actually cannot answer the questions while creating the lesson, so I'm just going to click continue here. But as you can see, I can edit this and I can choose whether that's the correct or incorrect answer. Thank you, Andrew. I can also go ahead and add those comments. So here I want them to link out to this resource, copy and fair use animation, and I can click on that and it will open that YouTube video right there from Common Sense Education. Once they close that tab, they can come right back into the EdPuzzle and continue on their way. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because we do have some more multiple choice questions and comments in here. There's another one of those multiple choice questions. As you can see, you can add images to the multiple choice questions, which I think is absolutely awesome. In fact, let's take a look at the WYSIWYG editor for multiple choice. As you can see, I can add hyperlinks, I can add images, I can mess with some of the text there. I can also make it bold, italics, underline. I'm not sure what these effects do. Let's take a quick look. Oh, it's a code cogs equation editor. Awesome. So for mathematic people, that's a fantastic addition. I just discovered that doing the screencast here. And again, I can add correct or incorrect as my answers. I'm going to go ahead and just card the changes. I can also add another answer if I so chose, because I want to show you some of these towards the end. So as we get deeper into this, we talk about a number of different sites, and I want the online learners who are taking this EdPuzzle to go out and explore some of those. So here I've asked them to find a public domain licensed work at Freesound and share the link to it below. So I click on Freesound, it's going to open up that new tab. I'm going to be able to find a sound that I want to share with my instructor within Freesound, find the link to it. I'm just going to grab this one even though it's not public domain, which was a requirement. I could copy that, paste it back into here, and be good to go. Alright, so that is how we would create the assessment, the EdPuzzle formative assessment, by adding these little questions throughout the video. I'm going to actually just go ahead and go back here and not save that work, because I want to show you how we would add that to a class. Once the EdPuzzle is created, I can assign and share it. In this case, I've already got it assigned to practical experience with interactive media. I do have prevent skipping checked, so that forces the individual to watch the entire video. I can also assign a due date if I so choose, which I have done actually within my classes. So here we see that I just added that class. So this is a brand new video to that class. I'm going to go ahead and delete that in just a few moments. But this is the one that I assigned earlier today. As you can see, it's been 100% completed by the people I have assigned it to, because I only have one individual in my class, which is myself at the moment. Hopefully that will change in a few weeks' time. I've also gone through it as the teacher 19 minutes ago. As you can see, I did not watch the whole video, and I have a grade of 0 at the moment. I can go through and see what some of the answers were that I gave as I was looking at it as a teacher if I wanted to, because this is the back end of EdPuzzle, which allows me to look at the information that the people who have completed it have added as their answers. So let's go ahead and take a look at the one that I actually did watch the entire video of, so that you get an understanding of how the assessment part of this works. As you can see, I can see how many times an individual has watched each segment. So if they chose to rewatch, that would actually say 1 or 2. I also see that the question answered correctly a number of times. The questions that were accurate are in green. Those were answered incorrectly are in red. I can see that I have 10 of 14 correct responses and a grade of 71 out of 100. So let's scroll down a little bit here and try and figure out why it seems like I'm missing one answer. I don't know what that grade 1 is for. Let's see if I can find it. As you can see, those that are true false automatically grade themselves, or the multiple choice that I've added in here. And you can have 2 correct answers within multiple choice, which is nice. If I scroll down a little bit here, we'll get to some of those open-ended ones. As you can see here, question 7 was to visit the Free Music Archive and find a Creative Commons licensed work, and then share the link to the work and what type of license it holds. As you can see earlier, I added the link so that as the instructor I can go ahead and visit that link and make sure that it is what they claim. And it looks like this is a Free Music Archive audio track called Emergency Room, and it is licensed under an attribution non-commercial share-alike license, but they didn't include that in their notes. So I actually added a comment here, and I can go ahead and add another one. I'm just going to type the same thing over again, which is you forgot to mention the license type. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and click on send. As you can see, I already added that in an earlier screencast as I was trying to record it previously, but you see how that works. I can scroll down a little bit further here, and let's see. Oh, there's the one that I missed before. So here the question was, find an image at the Library of Congress Prints and Photographs online catalog that has no known restrictions and it has a larger image available anywhere, and share the link below. So the individual did share that link. Let's check it, make sure it is according to standards. It looks like it is. There's no known restrictions on the publication. It does have the ability to view the image larger. Fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that as correct. Alright, so you see how the back end of the assessment piece works. And this individual got a grade of 79 out of 100 with 11 of 14 responses correct, and now that gray question mark is gone. Alright, so let's take a look at how we would assign this within Edmodo. As you can see, I've already started an assignment tab within my practical experience with interactive video. I've added a title, a due date. I've locked the assignment after its due date, and I've added it to my gradebook. I've added the note of please complete the EdPuzzle attached to this assignment, and to remember to turn in when complete. I've assigned that to the practical experience with interactive video group. I could also assign this to individuals if I so chose. So if I look for James Gubbins here, I may be able to find that. There we go. I can assign it to that individual instead of to the entire group as well. And then I want to embed the code from EdPuzzle. So I'm going to go back to EdPuzzle. And I'm going to go back one more level here. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Share. Within the Share section is my embed code. So I'm going to copy this out. I'm going to go back to Edmodo. I'm going to paste it in. It should automatically find the title as EdPuzzle. It did. And I would go ahead and click Send at this point. But like a good cooking show, I've already pre-created that assignment. So let's take a look at how this would work as a student. If I were a student, I could go ahead and click on EdPuzzle. And what it should do is open up what I just showed you. I can log in with Google. Let's do it that way. I'm going to log in with this account. And it should be ready for me to go. So I can go ahead and now click play.
The following broadcast was recorded live via Google On Air Hangouts, hosted by myself, James Gubbins.
And as you can hear, it starts off with that audio clip.
Questions. Please do your best to respond.
And because I did allow for skipping, we can move forward just a little bit here. So as you can see, we will get to the question, and I've already answered this one as being false, so I can go ahead and click on continue.
Well, Andy, if copyright means we have to ask permission.
Let's scroll a little bit further ahead here.
We'll talk about what that is in this presentation as well.
Oh, fantastic. Incidentally, there is a resource there. It says Copy and Fair Use Animation from Common Sense Education, and that's a little video clip up above. If you either click the link or the video clip, it should play there right within the presentation.
And as you can see in just a moment here, it's going to pause.
Using the link in the description of this video, so feel free to pull that up. Obviously, we're not going to play videos within a Google Hangout. It would be a little distracting. So we'll let our audience go ahead and watch those videos on their own. We'll trust that they'll take the time to do so.
And as you can see here, it pops up the comment saying there's the copy and fair use animation. Click the link above to open the resource in a new tab. They can watch a video that we saw before, close it, and get right back to the EdPuzzle. I apologize for the length of that. It's kind of hard to determine exactly where that is going to pick up on such a small timeline there. The student also has the ability to rewatch. The adult learner can go ahead and rewatch that section, which will take them back to the last asked question. All right, I'm obviously not going to go through this entire assessment here, because you already have a good overview of it, I hope. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out. As the student, I will click on Turn In. This now says Turned In because I'm in as the instructor, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Turned In. I see that James Gubbins has turned in their work, and so now I can go ahead and grade it. Going back to EdPuzzle, let's go ahead and get that student's progress. Hopefully this will load a bit quicker than it's trying to. It seems I'm having some internet issues, so I'm just going to go ahead and fake this one. We're going to say that they got, I believe it was 72 out of 100. And I'm going to make a note and actually say, please review the sections of the EdPuzzle you had issues with. If you need assistance, please go ahead and contact me. As you can see, that was there from a previous screencast. I'm going to add it one more time just for the heck of it. Click on Grade. And now that student should receive an email saying that I have reviewed their work and given them a grade. So that is how the formative assessment, copyright, copyleft, and everything in between using EdPuzzle works. I know that was rather lengthy, but it is a rather detailed and intense assessment, and I hope you can see the value in it, especially for my online course. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to your feedback.